You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet.
Hello.
And welcome to... Well, it's fitting I had car trouble today of all episodes.
It is.
A mother of all car trouble.
And you're wearing your cop BDSM outfit, too. It's like...
Just a rag
You
covering
weren't
my
planning
hole.
on doing that.
I really didn't think the
Chaps in a whole rag. Yeah.
I really didn't think the assless chaps were going to happen, but here we are.
You see, old chaps are assless, mate.
I was about to say, someone corrected Miller on that one.
Yep. On the show, you're right. I forgot about that. Yeah, he had a good reaction to that, as I recall.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope it was an Australian person. I just did it because
We've got one of those.
Max. We got at least two. Well, at least one. Probably two.
Probably two. Well, today we're talking about the game Outlander, which
They
is
say
actually...
no funny.
Say what?
They say no
Nar.
funny. Nar.
N-A-W-R.
Yeah.
Nar.
Sorry. Yeah. I just needed to throw that out.
No,
You're
you're right,
Australian.
you're right.
You say no funny. I like it, but it's funny.
They also their accent adapts to a southern accent very well,
Yeah?
according to the actors on True Blood that are Australian and have perfect southern accents.
Now, did they choose Southern accents because it was easier for them? Like, was True Blood supposed to be like set in Boston? And then they were like, no, mate, we can't do that.
Nar.
No, mate, we got to go to Kroger's.
Today we're talking about Outlander, which is actually the SNES movie game for
The Road Warrior.
the Road Warrior. So, but before we get to all the Mad Max talk and the game talk, what you guys been up to?
Nothing, really. Played Overwatch a lot for what it's worth, and then did watch an interesting movie called Long Legs. I don't know if you've heard of this.
have heard of
Listen,
that.
I went to the theater to see Long Legs.
Oh, did you really?
We did.
See,
Saw short legs. Got a refund.
I'd never heard of it before, and it came on a streaming platform of my choice.
Yeah.
And-
Oh, okay, cool. It's on that one.
yeah.
That's good to know.
And it was okay. It was weird.
It was okay.
But
It was
I
weird.
I
agree.
enjoyed it a lot. I thought Nicolas
Cage was
Cage was
good.
crazy good. It was that weird like outfit, like makeup he was wearing.
Is he playing Dracula again?
Of a sort.
It was in a way. In a way.
I just want him to be Dracula in every movie.
But I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. Kind of a thriller / horror movie. It reminded me a lot of sort of a modern take on, which is fucked up though, because I think it takes place in the 90s. It does. It takes place during the Clinton administration. It's really not modern, but it's sort of like
That's who
Silence
Nick
of the
Cage plays,
Lambs.
is Bill Clinton.
It does look a little like Buffalo Bill in a way. I mean, much paler Buffalo
Crushing
Bill.
Powder and Buffalo Bill.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
That's a sales pitch right there.
It really is. It really is accurate to say that. But I really enjoyed the movie. It was a lot of fun.
Because Melissa saw a TikTok that said, go see this movie. Don't know anything about it, but go see it. So we just point blank, knowing nothing about it, went to go see it.
Okay. Well, that's kind of how I went into it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And but the woman that plays the lead in that, she's really good. She really nailed it as far as I'm concerned, and very, very Clarice Starling vibe to her. I mean, it was just, you could just see a lot of the parallels. It was nothing like Silence of the Lambs, but it was a lot like Silence of the Lambs. It's kind of hard to explain.
It reminded me a little bit of Hereditary in that it seemed grounded, and then there was like a sudden supernatural twist.
Yeah, it did get like freaky supernatural all of a sudden there towards the middle, which to some people's dismay, from what I've heard, that was not the preferred direction. that some people would like for it to have gone. It didn't bother me, but it would have been cool if they just stayed grounded in, you know, the now. But
Yeah, Nick Cage was plenty creepy on his own.
yeah, he did a good job. He really did. And it was a good story. I enjoyed the story a lot, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I'm going to give that one 3.5 stars. Wisdom Sage says check it out. Aside from that, I've just been working on my cars and my car and my truck, just doing stuff like that and being real busy at my job, and just so tired that I come home at night and play Overwatch for a couple of hours and then go to bed. I'm still watching Bad Monkey, that Vince Vaughn show on Apple TV Plus. It's still pretty good. I'm still watching Sunny, the A24 show on Apple TV Plus with Rashida Jones.
Yeah.
That I mentioned. It's pretty good too. I'm still like episode to episode on all of these things, so I can't really speak to the entire season, but so far I'm enjoying both of those. And I'm trying to talk myself out of buying this new Star Wars Outlaws game that's coming out.
Man, I've seen a commercial for that on YouTube. The commercial made it look really good. It made it look really fun.
It looks fun. I watched a lot of like trailers and gameplay trailers and
So did Squirrel with a Gun.
stuff.
Saw
The
that-
Squirrel
saw
with a
that.
gun looks
Squirrel with a
cool.
Gun
I'm
came out.
tempted to try that
Yeah,
one too,
Michael May
but-
posted I posted in Discord that I got a notification that it was out on Steam, and then he posted that it was like more of a collectathon than he thought it was going to be, and I was like, well, I was excited about this, but I think I'll wait till it goes on sale, and I'll just play Final Fantasy 14.
That's
'cause I
kind of
already
where
paid
I'm
for that.
at with both of those. I mean, I know that Star Wars Outlaws, it looks really good. It's
looks
open
cool,
world
man.
Star Wars adventure.
Yeah. It looks good.
It looks
visually,
graphics
it
visually,
looks
it looks
good,
fucking
yeah.
great, and I'm excited to give that one a shot, but I am not spending $70, and that's for the base version. If you buy like the ultimate edition, apparently it's gonna have a season pass, which kind of frustrates me.
Yeah,
Like
sure.
a battle pass kind of thing, I guess.
Do you know what kind of game it is?
It's an
I don't even
open
know.
world. It's like Red Dead Redemption
Okay.
and GTA and all that.
That's what I would have preferred Squirrel with a Gun to be.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was hoping it was going to be like a sandbox, kind of like
Yeah.
you're a squirrel and you have a gun,
Yeah.
and it's like that's it.
It's
Have
my
fun.
understanding that that's how this is that's how Star Wars Outlaws works.
Yeah,
Only on like a galactic scale. I mean, you can go to multiple planets and explore and do the things you want to do and pick up different quests depending on where you're at. And,
yeah,
I mean, it looks like a great game, and it looks like a lot of work and effort went into it. And
sure.
I'm excited to give it a shot, but
Yeah. You got Ubisoft Plus though, right? You can get playing that.
it's not on there.
It's in the commercial I saw. It had the logo on it.
Oh, did it?
Yeah,
Well, I don't know. I don't know if
I was
do.
joking because I don't know anybody who has that.
Well, I don't have it, I don't think. And I just don't have the money right now to drop $70 on a video game. I know
come
that's the
down.
going rate, but I'm gonna give it some time
Yeah, it'll come down.
to come down. It's on if you own the game now, you can pre-order it. It's like not supposed to release. Of course, by the time this airs, it will have released. I think it's supposed to release this Friday. But if you pre-order it, you get some bonus stuff and you get early access and all kinds of stuff like that. But the FOMO is real, but I don't want to spend the money right
Yeah.
now. I'm not in a position to buy a video game at the moment.
Yeah, $70 is a lot, man. You can get a lot of games for $70. You know what I
You
mean?
really can. And and you're right. I mean, if this were like, I would probably feel differently if this game were like a World of Warcraft multiplayer, like a massively multiplayer type of deal. I'd probably feel differently about it because I wouldn't want to jump in 6 months when everybody is already, finished it,
Yeah,
or leveled
sure.
up to the fucking max, and it wouldn't be any fun. But it's not, so I'm gonna wait
Yeah.
for it to go on sale.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it gets down in the $30 range in the next year or so.
Probably, yeah, about a year. I don't know how Ubisoft games typically do, but I mean, man, it's wild how God, what game? I can't remember what game it was. There's a new game, and I got a notification about it. Oh, it was Remnant 2. I remember Remnant 2. I wanted to play it. My sister and my brother-in-law, they were playing it. I was like, oh, damn, it looks sweet. And it was on Xbox Game Pass. Or there was some situation where it's like, fuck, I don't want to play that with a controller. And it wasn't like either wasn't on PC Game Pass or there was a fucking thing.
Right.
And
There's
so
always
it's like,
a
well, I
thing.
guess I could buy it. And I was like, nah, games are fucking expensive. And then they were talking about that at Christmas, I remember. And it's like, I got a email saying it was on sale for like $30. And it's like, shit, all right, man, 9 months. Time it takes for a baby, a human to be conceived. A game's $40 less. That's all right.
Nice. But that's all I've got today. Kind of light on the personal side this evening. Oh well, I did go and have my meeting about my colonoscopy.
Did that go well?
It hasn't happened. The meeting went well. I haven't had the colonoscopy yet. I don't have that till like late October.
What do they talk? What do you do in the meeting? They talk about like the
They just
pregame,
tell you like what kind of prep I have to do and give me instructions and get me scheduled. So late October is when I'm supposed to have it done.
Right on.
So
Right
we'll
on.
see. I'll keep everyone posted on that fun outing.
That gives you time to mentally prepare, I guess.
Or just worry about it. Honestly, I was hoping they'd just be like, let's just do it. Let's just get you done.
Fuck it. Do it now.
We'll give you a big old enema.
I got 8 minutes. Let's do it.
Yeah, we'll give you a big old enema and we'll just jump right in. But I'm the kind of guy who will obsess and think over it for the whole time.
That sucks.
And I just want it. I'd rather it just go. Just
Obsess
get it done.
and think about the procedure or the
Yeah.
results or all of it.
All of it.
Yeah.
I mean, but mostly just the procedure. I've had countless people now, including several people on the Discord and family members and friends that have said, yeah, my mom had the same thing. She took the Cologuard test and it came back abnormal and she got a colonoscopy and she was fine. And my dad said the same thing. And it was just I'm not, at the moment, there's no point in
So it's a
being,
gastro scam, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think so. It
does sound like
the
it.
moment there's no point in
Hey, if
me
they'll
being-
shit in a box and mail it to us, they'll pay for a fucking colonoscopy. Let's just see if it works.
Well, that's exactly what it is.
That's brilliant. They deserve the money, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Man, I'm gonna be backing up into that colonoscopy. I'm not gonna shit in a box. I'm gonna scare my doctor.
Just throwing it back
Yeah.
into the machine. Yeah.
Oh, it's a machine.
It's a
Oh,
camera.
I thought the doctor wore like a cod piece or something. Yeah, never
Only the
mind.
most hung doctors can be.
I mean, they don't, look. That's I don't know. I feel like that's prejudiced.
But that's all I got. What about you, Dave?
Man, I've been watching this anime called Frieren.
Called what now?
Free. It's Frieren. That's the name of the elf main character. She's kind of like she's the main character of the series, but like she's not the main character of the world. The setup's really cool, man, because it's like she was an elf she was the only elf in a party, and elves in this world, like most fantasy worlds, are borderline immortal. They haven't I don't know if they've straight up said she's immortal or not, but Tolkien-esque, where it's like they live a long time, So 10 years ago, not 10 years ago, what the fuck? A long time ago, she was in a party with like 2 humans and a dwarf, and the story doesn't actually begin until like spoilers on the first episode, but like the hero of that party dies because he's an old man. So that's what kicks the whole thing off. Like he's the main character of the world. Like everything, like all the history of the world since they, as a party, took down the Shadow King.
He's their anchor.
He is their anchor. Yeah. So it's like, how we have like, it's the year of our Lord 2024. I mean, it's like the hero. It's like their timeline starts, essentially. Their calendar starts when he dies. So it's neat, man. It's like it is a super fucking like thoughtful, heartfelt anime. Like that surprised me. I watch a lot of fantasy stuff because I like the genre, but like this is different. Like this is for real different. This is a really good show. This is like an exceptional, outstanding show. I recommend it to anyone. It's great. I think Madhouse is the studio. I've read the first volume of the manga. I don't know how faithful it is beyond that, but I mean, yeah, it's great, dude. I think it's awesome. Big recommend. They're like, it feels really. I've watched a lot of like superficial stuff recently, like Bastard, and like, I mean, that's fun, but this
Bastard's weird.
Bastard's weird. Yeah,
I got about 2/3 of the way through the first season of Bastard, and I just kind of stopped.
Yeah,
like, I couldn't keep it in. I couldn't keep it up.
Yeah, you gotta. That's like a anime that really plays into like the early '90s.
Yeah,
nostalgia.
Yeah,
like
oh,
you
yeah,
gotta be
sure.
like in the mood to watch.
Yeah, Bastard.
Specific thing. 3 exclamation marks.
Yeah,
it's important. Yeah, man, it's good. Free Aren. Check it out. It's on I don't know, Crunchyroll. I think that's where we're watching it. But Hulu has a lot of the same stuff Crunchyroll does. So it might be on Hulu. I don't
I'll
know.
have to check.
Yeah, because
I may
like
watch
Ken and I
that.
watched Naruto dubbed on Hulu. It's
Yeah.
not on Crunchyroll.
Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, big recommend. And then, I mean, I've been playing Disgaea. It's like a strategy RPG for the PlayStation 2.
Hell yeah.
Have you played it?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm glad to
Not
hear
not
that.
a lot, but yeah.
Oh, did
I
you
owned like several, and I've only played a little bit of one.
the first one or?
It's an early one. It's a remake of an early one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Was it on DS or like? Because I think there was a remake of one on DS, and
I think it was Vita was the one that I started with.
Yeah, I don't know which one's on Vita. I'm playing the first one. It was on Steam, like for like I don't know, like $2.
I've always heard amazing things about them.
So yeah, dude, I like it a lot. It's a fucking time melter for sure. Like I've been playing on the Steam Deck, hooked up to the TV in the bedroom. Been playing it in bed. Nikki's chilling beside me. She'll watch and like I don't know, help me figure shit out. Between that and like she's she likes to play word games like on her phone. So like she'll be doing that too. And it's like, man, the other night she's like, I can't believe it's only 8:30. I'm like, yeah, it feels like it should be later than that. And then 10 minutes later, it's like, holy shit, it's 11:45. What the fuck? So it's one of those games. Yeah, for sure. It's since you know about it, it's like tactics style, ogre tactics, Final Fantasy tactics, but it's got like a real fucking. I don't know how the later games are, but it's got a.
That's
real,
why I was attracted to it because I was like, oh, Shining Force / tactics / yeah.
Yeah, man, and it's got this like humor bend to it which is why I was curious because as I was playing it, it was one of those where it's like, man, I don't know if Tyler would love this or hate it because it's not as like Final Fantasy Tactics is. I feel like is a great game. I like it, but I feel like it's pretty self-serious. And Disgaea, at least this one, I can't speak for all of them, but Disgaea 1 is like the opposite of that. It is
The one I'm playing is like in
serious.
hell, and like a bat is trying to coach me out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this one takes place in the Netherworld as well, but it's probably a different one because there's no. I don't have a bat or nothing. I got a succubus, and then like this angel gets sent from Celestia. Well, I assume she's an angel. It's not explicitly said, but she's sent down to assassinate the prince, and you're playing as the prince, Laharl. So yeah, it's goofy. It's goofy, but it's like I love the special abilities in it, and I love that. Honestly, like I love that grind. The grind is a lot of fun, and it's like I like the system of you can recruit more team members, right? You can recruit soldiers to your army, tactics style, Final Fantasy Tactics style. But like their abilities, like their growth potential is maxed out essentially by your standing, how much standing you have. So it becomes this game where it's like, all right, so I hired this fighter, and his I have to hire him as a good for nothing, like that's a rank, and like genius is like the highest. And so you kind of play this game where it's like, well, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough standing to hire a good one, so I'll hire a bunch of bad ones, level them up, and then like merge them together so that they like increase their rank that way. I was surprised, man, by the amount of like systems in this game. And there's like this mechanic where like there's this like fiendish senate essentially, and you can try to extort them for money. And like there was this one thing where it's like, oh fuck it, I'll try it, see what happens. Where it's like you can try to get money from them, like raise war funds, and so they're all going to vote on whether or not they're going to give you this money, and you can bribe them. Like that's part of the game. And like you go through your item list, and they're like, oh yeah, I like that, or they're like, no. So you bribe them. And then they vote, and if the vote doesn't go in your favor, you'd be like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna kill you all," or try to. And then you can try to. Then if you fight, and if you kill the Senate, then you get whatever you came for. But like, I tried that, and those motherfuckers are like, I mean, they like one shot two of my like party members, like right, like the big one, like the two main characters. They were just like nuked them from orbit. It's fun, man. It's got a bunch of, it's crazy how many systems and mechanics are in that game. It's kind of overwhelming, honestly. Like I can't imagine coming from it having not played any other strategy games. Like I feel like it's too much, man. It's too big of a tactics cock to take if you haven't played like Final Fantasy Tactics or Ogre, Tactics or something like that. I don't know. And then it's got that thing where you can level up items by going inside of the item, and every item is a dungeon.
That's what Shake was telling me about. Like he would go in potions and level them up to their elixirs and shit.
Yeah. It's pretty wild. I mean, it is wild. It's wild. It's fun. It's fun, but it is different. That's pretty much it, man. That and Final Fantasy, doing the regular stuff. Still leveling Reaper, although it's like almost to 100, but it's like I think 93 right now. So
it's pretty fun, good though.
Yeah, man, it's a fun job, and it's kind of. I haven't leveled all of the melee DPS to 100, but I mean, so far it seems like pretty straightforward compared to like Samurai.
When I was making the show notes last week and brought up links about Dark Knight, like all the YouTube videos, like universally agree it's fucking dumb that Dark Knight's a tank class and it should be.
Really?
And yeah,
it's silly, dude. It really is. It's silly, but it is what it is. Mm-hmm. Dark Knight's in a weird place. I talked about this a little bit last week. Dark Knight's kind of in a weird place because you have people like me and apparently these YouTubers that you saw that's like, yeah, it's weird that it's a tank class. And then
got not a very good one either. Like everybody was shitting on it.
I know. It's this raid tier. It's been like, I'm not like a savage raider or anything, but like the word on the street is that like three out of the 4 fights in this raid tier, Dark Knight's like the weakest tank. Yeah, so
as it should be. Fuck it.
Yeah, look, man. I don't know.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Instead of fixing it, they made a new class. Okay, sure.
Yeah, and it's weird to me because like we were talking about Reaper and Dark Knight last week, and it didn't even dawn on me to say that like to me, like a scythe is more of a Dark Knight weapon to me than a greatsword, but that's like against the grain of like all other like Final Fantasies. It's just because of Final Fantasy 11.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that aesthetic makes sense too.
It
I
does.
like it.
Yeah.
Although what the Dark Knight ish thing in what's the DS one that we loved?
The DS Final
Where
Fantasy
you
game?
defend. And
Oh,
get
Bravely Default.
Bravely Defaults.
Yeah.
They had scythes.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, you're right. Fuck, man, I remember when black mages used scythes in Final Fantasy 11.
Yeah.
I mean, they were bad at with them, but you
Yeah,
could,
I had
equip
one.
them. Yeah, man, it was badass, right? Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's, outside of watching Mad Max 2 I thought was not going to be the first time, but was the first time. And then, playing Outlander. That's kind of it, man.
Cool.
What about you?
Melissa and I are about halfway through Mitchell.
Mitchell.
NST3K.
Nice. He's on my action hero draft, I think, if you
It's
recall.
so fucking weird. Like, I'm watching it, it's like, dude, this is the most awful written character, and I have no idea where it's going, what's happening.
Yeah.
The guy, the drug lord hates him, and then he's like,
Yeah.
come in and have some soup.
Yeah.
And in the weirdest sex scene I've ever seen in a movie,
Yeah.
where Mitchell's like this just gross, disgusting person who fucks this girl. A lot of feet rubbing.
Yeah.
Lots of feet rubbing.
Yeah, that's
and then he busts her
innuendo.
for weed.
Sounds like my kind of hero.
But other than that, it's just been a lot of work. But by special request, I do have a blind draft of legendary cars.
Man, and I'm excited. I got a new sheet of paper from, this is Conklin
Yeah.
Metal Industries.
Don't know where this came from, but it was sitting
Conklin
in
Metal
there.
Industries.
Yeah.
They have,
Possibly could have come from Austell, Georgia, Birmingham, Alabama,
Georgia, the
Charlotte,
country.
North Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina.
Not Kentucky.
They're everywhere.
Greenbow, Alabama.
Mobile, Alabama is on here. Wonder how far Mobile is from Greenbow.
It's a good question.
I'm not sure. I like
Greenbow's
this
my Rangers
idea
name.
for the car draft. I
Do
wish I
you?
had thought of it.
Man. 10 spot.
10 spot.
Blind draft.
Number 1, 97
Legendary,
Camry.
mythical, unique cars across media.
Okay. Is the car that Homer designed on here?
It is not.
Oh, okay. That's important information to know.
First one, the Ghostbusters car.
Oh, like an Ecto 1?
Ecto 1, thank you. I knew it was Ecto something.
All right.
The Ecto 1.
The Ecto 1 got so much love in Ghostbusters Afterlife
Yeah.
because, they didn't really spend a lot of time on the car in the original movies. Like you saw
It's
it.
true.
You heard the
Yeah.
the siren, and it was a key part of the movie. But you didn't really get to see it like they didn't shoot it the way that like they did in Afterlife, which is like car chase style, and of course
Yeah.
she had that gunner seat
That's a
that
cool
pops
scene.
out.
I like that
it's one of
scene.
my favorite scenes in the movie, and it really, the car really just kicks ass.
Yeah.
You forget that car is like a 73 Cadillac V8.
Yeah.
It's a big motor.
Yeah,
and
for all
it can
them dead bodies it's
scoot.
carrying.
Yeah.
Because it was a hearse, yeah.
Yeah. The coffins are heavy, especially with people
Coffins
in
do
them.
be heavy, though. You got to have, 6 people to carry a coffin? With a
least.
body in it.
If I'm involved, you need 7.
Are you in the coffin?
No, if
Coffin
I'm a
droppers.
bearer of the pall,
Droppers? Hell yeah. Man, and they were that was the whole teaser trailer for the Ghostbusters movie. Remember?
finding it
in the barn
thing.
with the
Yeah.
fucking cloth over it. You remember
Yeah.
that?
Reitman.
The Shroud of Turin, this motherfucker. had
Yeah,
on
it did.
Yeah.
Reitman did it right. He made it.
Well, it's a tangible thing that can still be there 30 years later.
Yeah.
Did it right, man.
Right, man.
Right, man.
It's high on my list.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
What you putting it? What you
Ghostbusters.
putting it?
Ecto 1 is. I'm going to leave some spots open because once again, I just can't commit.
I get it.
Ecto 1 is going to be in number 3 for
Love
me.
don't fit. That's a 2 for me, man. I'm tempted to put it in 1.
I'm tempted to put it in 2 or 1 myself, but I'm leaving it open because I got a lot of potentials here that might strike my fancy a little bit more.
John Voight's Volvo from Seinfeld might be on the list. That would be my 1 spot. So I got to save it for that.
Okay.
So 2, Ecto 1 is actually Ecto 2.
The Back to the Future DeLorean.
I knew that was going to be on here.
I enjoy that. What was it? Celebrities in cars getting coffee.
Yeah.
And so Jerry Seinfeld was going to drive one with his episode with Patton Oswalt, and it broke down immediately, and they had to get a different car.
A DeLorean?
Yeah.
DeLoreans were pieces of shit. There's no question about it. But they were cool looking. And Back to the Future, those movies are very meaningful and important to me. They are probably some of the favorite movies I've ever watched.
They're good, man.
And I watch them again and again and again.
They're good.
And I can't get enough. Even if they are a little dated from time to time, they're really not. I mean, they still work. The DeLorean's going in the 1 spot. I love that car.
Spot.
I love cars, and I love that car in particular. And I watched a whole documentary about someone tracking down all of the DeLoreans that were used in the movies. Like, where are they today?
So they use multiple
I saw
DeLoreans?
one in Gatlinburg, in the car museum in Gatlinburg.
Yeah, I'm sure that they touched on that. It's been a while since I watched that documentary, but yeah, they used several, and the DeLorean's my number 1. There might be some that would also deserve to be in number 1, but I don't have a problem putting the DeLorean there.
Dave?
Man, that's high up there for me too. I know there's a car that's gonna be. I know there's a car that's gonna be on this list. I'm saving from 1, so that's gonna have to be that. I mean, but that's high up there. That's a 3 for me, man. That scene in the first movie, where the spoilers, where they're trying to get back to the present, and you got the lightning, got to strike the tower. That scene, man, when it leaves the fucking tire tracks, that is so iconic, man.
It really is.
So
it's on
iconic.
the poster. I mean, it's an unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and I love it. I reserve the right once again. There's one car, I'm not sure if it's going to be on this list, that would deserve to be above it on my list. But again, I'm not upset about putting the DeLorean in slot 1.
No, hell no.
Early in the draft.
Number 3, the General Lee.
I was just about to ask if your number 1 spot was named after a Confederate general.
It isn't, but it is in my 2 spot.
Yeah. I know you got a lot of love for the Dukes of Hazzard.
I do. I don't love the Confederate flag on top.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, huh?
When I was a kid, I didn't understand.
Yeah.
I was drawing the fucking car with the Confederate flag on it, and I didn't know. I have since become educated, and I will reiterate what I've said before on this show. The Dukes and their family were the farthest from being racist that you could ever be. They were, and that's one of the reasons I really love the show. They were criminals. They were, they ran moonshine illegally and were always getting into some manner of trouble. But at the end of the day, they were good people trying to do right by their own family and take care of themselves, but never with intention to hurt anyone. And, I always thought that despite the fact that the General Lee had a rebel flag on top, it was a wholesome show that taught good values, if in a bit of a cheesy way at times. And I loved it. And that car, I was obsessed. I'm still obsessed with the old Challengers. The General Lee was just one of my favorite cars ever. I would not have any shame about putting it in the top spot, but it does go in my number 2.
Number 2.
Not
the same attachment.
No, I never watched Dukes of Hazzard. So, it's like, that's a and I know there are gonna be plenty of like cars that I do have attachment to. That's a 10 for me. It's just a little before my time, and I mean I mean, yeah, it's a 10, man.
There's a really good the Dukes of Hazzard movie is really good. It's Broken Lizard.
Recent one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like 2008.
Hey, yeah, right. Yeah,
Recent, just last year, right?
Yeah.
It's Broken Lizard, the guys that did Super Troopers.
Yeah.
Johnny Knoxville is Luke, and
Sean William
yes,
Scott.
Sean William Scott.
Jessica
Simpson.
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson is Uncle Jesse, which is fucking amazing. It's actually a really good movie, and they kind of dig on that. They get into the thing about the rebel flag just a little bit, and they touch on that and kind of make fun of that. But if you're not into the old show, you should give the Dukes of Hazzard the movie a shot. It's pretty entertaining.
Man, all right. I'll put it in Jessica Simpson's. She's hot as hell in that movie. So general at least 9 for me. I'm gonna break
all right.
That knocks it up a notch.
You know, Catherine Bach, the original Daisy, she was pretty hot back in the day.
Isn't she in it too?
No, she's not in it. None of the original people from the movie are in it.
Number 4.
Or from the show, I should say.
Adam West's Batmobile.
All right, so we're getting into specific Batmobiles. Man,
Can't just say Batmobile. I have to specify.
that fucks my shit up a bit, you see, because I only have a one spot is the problem. Do you get the theme song to go with it when you drive it, or is it just the car?
What, the rights to it, or the ability
Does it
to
play?
it?
I think only the Pure Elite plays its own theme song.
It's just the car, not the theme
when
song.
When you honk the horn, it plays.
Oh fuck, that was the number one right there, baby.
I like that Batmobile, but there are a lot of other cars from shows and movies I like more. I'm going to put that at 7.
7. Dave?
I do have a lot of attachment to that car. That was like, man, I used to watch that show.
I love that it had a fucking flasher on top, like a cop light.
Yeah,
it was
right?
so cool.
Yeah, man,
he is in no way affiliated with the police, but he has a siren on top of it.
Man, he had that red phone too. I know that wasn't in the Batmobile, but that red phone.
Yeah, that was hot.
Shit, yeah.
With the little statue with the button push. And
Yep. Yeah, man.
This is a great show, and I love the old Batmobile, but
yeah. And we were just talking about Irma Kitt and
Eartha.
Eartha Kitt. Sorry,
yeah, man, all the cat women.
Yeah, but I mean, if the theme song doesn't come with it, look, man, I used to watch that show twice a day in 3rd grade. I'd come home from school, and that would be on. I would watch it, and then sometimes it would come on at night too, and it'd be like bonus Batman. So. But I know there's going to be other Batmobiles on here. Fuck it, man. 4. Fuck it. 4.
It's a good spot. It's a good spot for it. Next, Herbie. Herbie Fully Loaded.
I liked
Fully Loaded, like a big potato.
I watched all of the original Herbie movies, the Disney
love
movies.
The shit out of those movies.
I really loved them, and I liked the car.
Did he have like a human infused in him? Is that his deal?
I can't remember what the exact deal was, but I think the lore was something to do with like there was some guy's soul in the
That's
car.
what I thought, right? So yeah, okay.
I think so. I could be wrong.
That's like that could go like a whole Stephen King route, you know?
And I love the paint job on Herbie. The
I don't
stripe.
remember it.
It was the red and blue
like
stripe.
the racing
with like,
kinda...
and I think it had like a 3 and a circle.
I mean, I was thinking a 3 too. How fucked up is
In
that?
the 1969 film Herbie, Stumpville believes that his strong feelings for his loved one, Elsa, transformed into the metal of the car, making it possible for Herbie to come to life.
That is romantic.
That is super weird, but okay. Anyway,
that's my artificer backstory.
On this list, Herbie ranks a 10. Got nothing against Herbie, but
in Herbie Fully Loaded with Lindsay Lohan, he's just sentient. They just happens to be a sentient car for no.
It's not
real
even a
reason.
transformer like Bumblebee or anything. Unless Herbie's been Bumblebee all along. I mean, they've been here forever.
You ever seen them in the same room together?
I don't know. They're usually in disguise. They're usually in the skies.
The skies, please. Yeah.
I'm going to put Herbie at 10. Nothing but love for Herbie, but on this list, I think he belongs at a 10.
Yeah, man, that's a 10 for me. We used to have to watch that in school, and it was always like, fuck, man, can we just learn? We got to watch Herbie again.
I know you're hungover, but I want to learn.
Look, man, I don't know how to convert decimals to fractions. We might need to figure this
The
shit
Dewey
out.
Decimal System, I'm going to need that forever. Teach me.
How am I going to find anything?
In the library that I go to all the time to find the books.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to convert fractions on a calculator in my pocket.
I have nothing against the public library. Frequent your public library when possible. They have wonderful programs and things to do.
When I lived in McCracken
It's a
County,
great
I went to the
place.
McCracken County Library a lot.
Cragen County Library is nice.
Yeah, it is real
Yeah, it's
nice.
It's one of the nicer things about
You can get
Paducah.
video games there.
I read like
can.
all of Wings there. So,
Yeah.
Olive wings.
next, the van from A-Team.
Bum, bum, bum.
I don't know if it has a name.
Just the A-Team van is what I've always called
Does the
it.
theme song come with this car?
Oh.
It makes a difference. It's an 8 for me if it doesn't. If it does, fuck man, I'm saving one for a Batmobile, but I might go ahead and put it in one if it comes with the theme
Mr.
song.
T is in it. Is he driving it?
Shit, Mr. T's in it? All right, okay.
I will swap my numbers if Mr. T's in. It comes with it to just take you places and hang out
Do
with
you come with the car?
Yes. Frequently. Again, I'm holding out, but I fucking love the A-Team van. Number 5 is where, or no, number 6 is where I'm putting A-Team van, but I love that van. That is an iconic vehicle, and it's
It
so
was in,
simple.
Last
Black,
Man on Earth. He went and got it and was driving it around.
black with a red diagonal stripe and red rims and a spoiler. That's it. It's awesome van. Made me want a van. I wanted one. 6 for the A-Team van.
The nature of this being a van just told me I probably should save my number 1 spot for not a Batmobile. So I'm going to have to readjust some shit. A-Team van, I'm telling you, dude, that's an 8. That's an 8 for me. Nothing against the A-Team. I just never saw it. That's why I like the theme song a lot, because the theme song fucking rocks. That's a great theme song. If we were doing theme song rankings, it'd be in the top 5. But yeah, I don't know much about the van. I mean, honestly, until you described it, I was having a hard time being like, was it like copper colored? So I don't. That's a 8 for me.
I was glued to the A-Team every week. I watched it like it was my job. Loved that show.
Next would be Kit from Knight Rider.
Man, that was good, dude. It was like we practiced that shit. 30 minutes before Tyler got here, Tyler's struggling with lug nuts on the side of the road, and I'm like, Ian, he's going to bring up Kit. When he does, you do the bass line, I'll do the melody. You do the rhythm, I'll do the melody.
Yeah. Kit's going in number 5. But again, I was glued to the television every Friday night at 7 watching Knight Rider. I fucking loved Knight Rider. I thought about it ahead of time, and I thought if Kit was on the list,
Your Kit is on the list.
your Kit
on my list.
is on my list. I thought I would put it higher, but at the end of the day, I think he belongs in 5. It's a good baseline for me.
Kit.
David,
I like Kit.
where's Kit go on your
We're
on
talking
your
about
list?
Tailspin. Kit. probably the most annoying character, but that's all right. He had that cool boomerang hoverboard.
Kick cloud kicker? Hell yeah.
Yeah, you would kick clouds on.
No, we're talking about the Firebird from Knight Rider.
Oh, shit. Well, it's a Firebird. I didn't know that. Here's what I do know. It would be a 7, but Mr. Feeney is the voice, so that's a 6. Bumps
It's a
it up
good
to
reason
a 6.
to. That
I
is a
didn't know
good
that.
reason. Yep. He voiced Kit very, very eloquently.
Next, in line with what we're playing, Mad Max's car.
This was the one I was not sure was going to be on the list. This would be my number 1.
It's a cool car, dude.
This would be my number 1. I should have left it open for this car because Mad Max's Ford Falcon is my favorite out of every single one of these that you're going to say. It's my favorite. It's going in number 4 because that's the only slot I have open, but I want it in number 1. Mad Max's car is... I love the way it looks. I love the fact that it's got a supercharger that he can flip on with a switch.
Yeah.
It seems like a car that actually does what it does in the movies. Like it's very little like special effect happening to this vehicle. And
It's cool
we'll get
looking.
more into I'm going to get more into talking about this car when we talk about the Road Warrior. But this car is my favorite one on the list. I love it.
All right, I got a stupid car question. I think you'll know the answer to, because you said it's a Ford Falcon.
Correct.
And I was like, I thought it was, in all of the stuff I saw, they were calling it an Interceptor. And I'm like, is that just because it was a police vehicle?
It was called a police interceptor.
In the Mad Max-averse, or?
Yeah, well, it was in, I want to say even in Australia, because you couldn't get the Falcon here.
I didn't know that.
It was pretty much exclusive to Europe and Australia, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since I've looked this up, so car people on Discord, don't come at me. But I'm pretty sure this car was
Come
not...
to him, but not at him.
Come in me, but not at me. I don't think it was available in the United States.
Okay, all right.
But I think they referred to them as V8 Interceptors because I do believe they were used... Since that engine was used in cop cars and stuff,
Okay.
a lot.
I mean, it didn't just, until you said a Ford Falcon, I was like, oh shit. When they were talking about Interceptor, they probably weren't talking
It's
about a
a-
model. They were talking about
it's
like
a-
a police vehicle.
It's a type
of police vehicle.
like I had a Mustang, an '87 Mustang Fox body that was that had police interceptor badges. It was a 5-liter V8, blah blah blah, all the stuff, but it was used as a police vehicle at some point before it was, shuffled on down the salvage title road to my doorstep. So they will call them police interceptors, but that's not like
the model.
branding from the
Gotcha.
factory.
Okay. All right.
Necessarily.
I learned something today, which isn't hard to do. Yeah, man, that's a cool car. I mean, it's not a number 1 for me. The other spots I got open are 5 and 7. I kind of want to put it at a 5 just because it's a really cool looking car, and honestly, this movie makes it look really, really fucking cool. I don't feel like there's as much magic to it as like, Kit or definitely Herbie, but I'm going to put it at 5. Maybe it's because we're talking about Mad Max today, but yeah.
9th car on the list. Michael Keaton's Batmobile from Batman Returns.
It's a pretty cool car. And I think I probably like it better than Adam West's Batmobile, but
Yeah, me
unfortunately all I've got left is 8 and 9, so it's going to go at 8 right under my 7 Adam West Batmobile.
About to break your fucking heart.
I know what you're going to do to me next, and I want to redo my list.
Well, based on that knowledge,
I know what you're going to do.
I have an inkling what you're going to do. I was saving my 1 for something else, but it might still be my 1 because if it's what I'm thinking it is, I do like that one better than this one. So I'll put it at a 7. Batman Returns. Batmobile, number 7. Lucky number 7.
And last, the Mach 5.
Oh, shit. That's not what I thought it was going to
That's
be at
not what
all.
I thought it was
I
gonna
thought it was
be
going to be the
either. I thought
Batmobile
it
from
was
The Batman.
Pattinson's Batmobile.
Yeah, that's what I
did
thought.
too. I
Hey,
did
man,
too.
that's Mach 5. That's a badass car right there.
God, it is, and I like it way better than.
You can send that fucking
any of the
robot bird out.
Batmobiles.
That's some good shit.
Hell yeah,
Hell
Robot
yeah.
Bird.
Oh man,
Robot bird, give me some Sonic. Beep.
If I can get a black wolf with that fucking bird, man.
I said 2 corn dogs. What the fuck, robot bird?
All right, so I had to put that in 9, but I want you to know what my list would have been if I had known what everything was going to be.
All right.
That's the purpose of the blind draft, Ian.
Well, I just want you to know. Number 1 would be Mad Max's Ford Falcon. Number 2 would be the Mach 5. Number 3 would be the DeLorean. Number 4, the General Lee. Number 5, Ecto-1. Number 6, Kit. Number 7, A-Team. Number 8, Batmobile, Michael Keaton. Number 9, Adam West Batmobile. Number 10, Herbie.
Well, what about in this imperfect world? What was your blind draft?
Huh?
In this imperfect world, what was your blind drafted number? Was that your blind
That
drafted?
was my. That was no.
that was
that
what
was
you-
what it would have been.
That's your ideal.
In a perfect world.
Okay.
Imperfect is what I've been doing. The DeLorean went first, and the Mach 5 ended up at number 9, which is not at all where it fucking belongs.
That's a spectacular car.
It
Mach
really
5.
is. It's got like 6,000 horsepower.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. Like
yeah.
they replace Speed Racer's skin every time he's done with a race because
You know-
it's ripped off of his body. It's upholstered with.
You know
his
what
old
else
skin.
has 6,000 horsepower? Trains.
Blame.
Like
Blame the
actual
pain.
trains. Maybe they're more like, 10,000. But yeah, we're talking about the power to haul
Yeah,
trains.
and it's got that robot bird. Don't
Got that
forget.
robot bird.
I need to just do a Batmobile blind draft. I'm sure there are 10 Batmobiles.
We could
to
come
go
up with
through.
10.
Yeah, you got Christopher Nolan's. You got. Is there a difference between Batman and Batman Returns? Is it the same Batmobile?
I
or-
think it looks the same, but it's got some bonus features
Okay.
that were added after the fact.
All right. You got the '66 Batmobile.
The animated Batmobile,
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Batman Forever, Batman and Robin.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I don't remember it from those. Which one had the motorcycle that popped out of it? Nolan's did that,
Nolan's did. He could go to motorcycle mode.
right? That was fucking cool.
It
right
was
there.
cool.
That was really.
It's a good
cool.
Batmobile.
Yeah, that's you know what, man? I had to be sold on it.
I liked.
I
the
didn't like it
fact
at first.
that we got a little bit of the Batmobile in the Nolan films. We got a little bit of the backstory of the vehicle.
Yeah, I like that
itself
too.
and what it was
With
intended
Lucius Fox.
for.
Yeah,
That was neat how
Yeah,
they
yeah.
kind of explained it.
I like
like that a lot.
yeah. I like that too. I didn't like the style of it. It grew on me.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, I didn't really like the militaristic Batmobile. But, I mean, we've had those before in comics.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like the ones that look, like when I was a kid, the ones that look like dicks.
Yes.
Dicks with wheels.
Animated series.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Right.
It's the Lexington steel of a dick.
It's like we
The
love
animated
the
series.
alien movies and also dicks. Let's put some wheels on that.
You guys want to talk about Mad Max?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, Mad Max. So the Road Warrior.
I just every time I hear Road Warrior, I think about that Pete and Pete episode.
King of the Road.
Yeah, where they race each other over the
Oh, that
King
might,
of Flawed and King of the Road
Right, right.
license plates.
yeah, on that family road trip. Dude, that is look, man, I don't know if I saw all of the Adventures of Pete and Pete as a kid, but I probably did. If I didn't, I saw most of them. That is honestly that episode and the one where Little Pete is doing the fucking radio show. Those are like the pirate radio show. Those are like the two only episodes that really stick
I think
out
about the
in my
one where they
mind.
tried to stay up the longest to beat the record for how long they could stay up at night.
Man, I forgot about that one.
About trying to stare at the sun so
Yeah,
they
yeah.
would sneeze and stay awake.
Yeah. Yeah, dog. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Or the identity of Mr. Tasty Swirl.
Yeah.
Trying to
Arnie.
find his ex-wife to try to tell him who he really is.
Yeah. Didn't it turn out to be Artie?
I don't know. I don't
Or
remember.
maybe it was
Or the inspector, the underwear inspector, who also
the
came
number.
in, had to defeat him with chicken wings.
Yeah. Fuck, man. That's a good show.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good show. But that's not
Mad
Max.
Mad Max.
Mad Max,
Hit the road.
the Road Warrior. It was made in 1981, same year as Empire Strikes Back.
Same year as
No, I think
David
Empire
Franklin
came out
Moore,
in.
the third.
That's when I was made. That is when I was made.
Can't remember. Anyway, this is a sequel to the first movie from 1979 called Mad Max. Simply,
Which I have not seen that. I had seen this one before.
so Mad Max is a little bit of a slow mover. The original movie is a little bit of a slow mover, and it tells the story of we're on the verge of this post-apocalyptic world, right? And the guy Mel Gibson plays Mad Max, who his name is.
So Max was alive in the before times.
Yes,
Yeah.
his name was Max.
That's not what I would have thought at all. from these movies.
Really?
Rockatansky. Max Rockatansky is his name, his character's name.
It's very rockadoodle.
And he's a cop, and they patrol this, the outback area, and there's these bikers that cause trouble, and they're killing people and taking their stuff, and it's just a lawless land, and his partner ends up getting killed, and then you see at the beginning of the Road Warrior, the flashbacks that happen that explain that Max's wife and baby were killed by some biker outlaws,
And that was in
ran
the
them down.
That was in the U.S. cut
Okay,
because it was a sequel to a movie that hadn't been released in the States yet.
Oh, I didn't know
Is
that.
how that worked.
Okay.
Which is why it was released here as The Road Warrior and not as Mad Max 2. Because they were worried people weren't going to go see Mad Max 2 if they hadn't seen Mad Max 1. So in the U.S. cut, they put that in.
I see what you're saying. They put yes, because
The story of
the
Max.
original Mad Max movie was low budget. It was
Straight up
Australian,
I mean,
100% Australian.
budget.
Which all of the Mad Max movies are 100% Australian.
Yeah.
They just bring in bigger names as the franchise grows. It becomes more popular and attracts more big stars, of course. But
The baby was killed so hard, just like in Pet Cemetery. You see baby shoes.
baby
just,
shoe, and a little ball. It's really sad, but it drives Max over the fucking edge, and
Yeah, man.
he stops being a
They get his wife
cop.
too.
Yeah, they get
Pretty
both.
bad.
She's carrying the baby
Yeah.
when they run her down while she's carrying the baby.
Yeah, the first movie's like honestly, like it's been over 10 years since I've seen that first movie, but I remember it being a revenge film.
Yeah, it is big time. And he had retired from being a cop. He just wanted to get away from all this life after he saw what happened to his friend who was burned. His partner wasn't killed immediately. He was burned. Like
in the
fourth
post-apocalyptic world.
Well, in the first movie. So according to the lore, apparently all this happens right before nuclear war breaks out.
It never changes.
And the nuclear war happens between Mad Max and the Road Warrior, and that kind of leaves us where we're at.
That's very different.
I don't know how accurate that is. It's kind of hard. I'd really rather just because there's a number of things about the Mad Max saga that I'm going to try to explain a little bit of, but anyway,
Because I really would have thought it'd been like nuclear war, 200 years later, this is what's mutated people, nothing left, using scraps of cars and gasoline left.
It's pretty much that. I mean, it is that. But it is post-apocalyptic. It's very... But they're out in the middle of the desert, and so resources are slow. They don't know... They just have themselves to rely on, and they know how to work the machines, and they know how whatever. And so we get to the point of now... So Mad Max has now become this sort of guy who just wanders the wasteland and doesn't really... After his family is killed in the first movie, he takes revenge. He kills them all. He kills badly. One of them he handcuffs to a car and then blows it up, and
I mean, is Fallout inspired on this because he's still
be.
the
Parts
lone
of it
wanderer
have to
with
be.
his dog, and
Yeah, I don't think entirely, but I mean, like parts
Proto
of it
Fallout was
for
called
sure.
Wasteland,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So he's driving his car through the wasteland, just trying to stay alive, I guess, not really on any sort of a mission anymore. He got his revenge, and now he's just sort of drives around the wasteland and
What now?
exists.
Got nothing to live for.
So the car that he drives, as we discussed earlier, is a Pursuit Special, and it is a heavily modified Ford Falcon XB GT, which is built on a vehicle originally assembled in the Ford plants in November of 1973. The Ford Falcon was made the year I was born, and he gets that car in the first movie. They offer
So
they offer him the
it's
car.
not his personal cop car that he kept. And
Well,
It is a cop car.
It is a cop car,
Yeah.
but what happened was when he tried to quit the police force in the first movie, when he quit, his boss, his captain, tried to convince him to stay and offered him that car as incentive to stay. And he didn't take it. But after his family was killed, the first place he went was back to the police station and got that car so he could use it to hunt down the people that killed his family.
Okay.
So we see sort of a heavily modified version of it in the next movie, which is The Road Warrior, and that's where
Looks
that
way
car
cooler.
came from. And it looks way cool. It's got those pipes coming out the side.
Yeah. That car looks, it looks really, really cool.
Yeah, he uses that car to run people down that killed his family. But now he's got the car, and that's his deal. And so we find him just being harassed by bikers, by these wastelanders that try to. The whole deal is take down the cars to get their gas, get their gasoline or their guzzling, as they call it.
I'm sorry, that's such a weird pivot to go from revenge movie, nuclear war, mutated land. Now we're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It is strange. It is a strange pivot, but I don't
never
think.
thought that.
I don't think George Miller thought that Mad Max was going to take off the way that it did, to the point of someone was going to give him the kind of money it would take to do the Road Warrior, because you can tell the budget for the Road Warrior is 20 times more than it was for Mad Max.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was.
He said that he did it the way that he wanted to do Mad Max.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much that is story, but I know that he's said that the Road Warrior, Mad Max 2 is how he wanted to do Mad Max.
Which was impossible. There just wasn't any way for him to do it on that kind of budget. And they still did a great job with the first movie, but this movie this is one of my favorite movies when I was younger. One of the few kind of movies like this that I was allowed to watch. And Mad Max might be kind of a badass, but he's also kind of a sweetheart, right? He's got a soft spot to help people. He doesn't want to see people suffering, and he wants to
Reluctant
punish.
hero.
He's still a cop at heart, where he wants to punish evildoers, and he wants to, but he does it in a way that's not too dissimilar maybe from some of the ways that they are now. But we have him in this situation where he finds himself
He's pretty shitty to the comic relief character in this movie.
Right. This is
The gyro captain.
gyro
Yeah.
captain.
The true hero of the movie.
Yeah.
Right, he really
the
is.
gyro captain.
There's this 1-man, 2-man gyrocopter that he flies around, and Mel Gibson's Mad Max come into contact with this guy, and after some uncomfortable words, and he takes him Mad Max takes the gyro captain prisoner.
Snatches a snake mid-strike.
He's about to blow him away. And the guy says, I know where all the gasoline is that you could ever want.
Yeah.
And I'll take you there, but only if you let me live. So he says, fine. He puts him in chains. Mad Max has the best dog ever, the bestest good boy ever. His name is Dog. And
they got him from a shelter.
not only did they get Dog from a shelter, he was scheduled to be euthanized the next day.
Yeah, I heard that.
They came and adopted him and trained him specially for this movie. And after the movie was over, the camera
They
crew
euthanized him. They finished the job.
they adopted
Well,
him.
it was meant to be. Yeah.
Thanks for shitting right on my warm, heartfelt moment.
That's what we do, man. Lay dookies on hearts.
So we'll just leave it at that. Yep, they shot him in the face, and that was what they did to the dog. It's really cool. So anyway, he goes and he sees these people. He sees these sort of wastelanders. The camera crew adopted the dog. They see these wastelanders riding around this like fuel plant from their vantage point up on the mountain, and the guy says that's where the gas is.
And this is the only boring scene I thought in the movie.
Yeah, and Mel Gibson says,
Because
okay,
it's like all these shots
you
where
see-
it's just like cars with dust, and it's
Yeah.
like, all right, cars,
right.
far away.
And they're laying siege to the plant, to the refinery. And the refinery is populated by people who are just trying to live, and they just happen to be the ones
and they're
in
dressed
control.
in white, so you know they're
they're good guys. At one point, all of the wastelanders, the bad guys, they go out and off on something together, and another group tries to escape, tries to get out of the refinery, and they're run down by some of the wastelanders who kill the woman, and the man is injured really badly, and they leave him behind. Well, the Mad Max takes this as his opportunity to get himself in. So he goes down there, he helps the man, takes him back to the refinery, and they let him in. And but they're going to turn him loose. They don't want to have anything to do with him because they got enough to worry about with these wastelanders.
Well, he fights the biker gang before that. He already has his own little tussle and shoots the guy in the arm.
Yeah. The guys that had raped and murdered the woman and that had shot the other dude, her friend, in the shoulder. He goes down. And,
Yeah, they pin him. They pin him to his car. With like a crossbow bolt.
Yeah.
While they murder and rape this woman.
Right.
It's pretty fucked up.
It's a bad scene. It's a tough watch. And
But that like harkens to the first movie.
yeah,
Because
it really does.
that's like that's the scene in Mad Max 2 that I was like, yeah, okay, I remember Mad Max 1 now.
Yeah. So
His chap's in Raghole guy,
he gets into that.
the dog of war.
The dog of war and the guy riding bitch.
Yeah. He gets into the fight with them and, leaves with the guy and takes him back to the refinery. They let him in. They're like, thanks, get the fuck out. And he's like, no, I brought this guy back to you. I brought this guy back to you. Give me some gas. And they're like, fuck you, get out. And about that time, the Wastelanders show back up, led by the immutable Humongous.
Who is like originally supposed to be Max's original partner.
His original partner.
Yeah.
And they show, for some of the shots, you can see he's burned. His hair's been burned off.
Yeah, he's got no ears.
He's got no ears. I mean, he left that open just in case there was like a rewrite and they wanted to add that in, but they did not do that.
He's wearing the fucking hockey mask.
Yeah.
Before Jason.
Yeah.
This is before Jason put the mask on in Friday the 13th Part 3.
Yeah. Humongous tells them the people inside the fortress that is the refinery, which is, by the way, not at all guarded in the back. I don't know if you noticed during one shot later in the movie, you can see behind like Mel Gibson on the other side of the refinery.
Yeah.
It's just barbed wire. They don't have like all the tires.
They don't
and
have a school bus drawbridge.
Drawbridge gate.
It's RPG rules. So
Yeah. So
It's a Snorlax on the
You just
back
can't-
side of it.
Snorlax blocking the road. Poke Flute's long gone.
well, we can't get out. We can't get back there. I guess we'll just have to lay siege to the front. But they give them 24 hours. It says you've got 24 hours. Humongous tells them
He is benevolent. He will let
if
everyone
you
go.
leave, just pack up and fucking leave us the oil and the gas. We'll let you live.
We'll let you pass safely.
Sure, I believe him too.
I fucking love that scene, dude, because like this whole scene could have been like pretty boring, honestly, but it is not. The scene where Humongous is like calling him out and telling him all this stuff is amazing because you're like introduced to this like feral kid with a boomerang.
Feral boomerang
who
kid,
I never
yeah.
saw this movie. This is the first time I saw this movie. And the moment I saw that kid, I was like, holy shit, this is without a doubt 100% the inspiration for Gao. Like 100%. Like you couldn't convince me otherwise.
Yep.
Like Sakaguchi
He's
could be
wearing
like, no,
animal
it's not. And be like,
hides.
you're a fucking liar. Because have you seen Mad Max 2? That's Gao. And then like you got the Herald.
No,
who,
Gao's
like-
hair is green.
yeah. You got the Herald who like introduces Humongous. And then the scene where the fucking feral kid goes like in a tunnel, like a dug, like one kid-sized tunnel from inside the base outside, throws a boomerang, kills the guy who rides bitch on War Dog's motorcycle, and then like chops off the fingers.
So War Dog freaks the fuck
Oh,
out
yeah.
and grabs
My
the
hole.
boomerang and throws the boomerang back at the kid, but it turns around and it comes back, and the announcer guy, the Herald
the
guy,
Herald.
jumps up. I've
got
got
it.
it. I've got it.
Goes to catch it.
It cuts his fingers right off.
Dude, I laughed fucking out loud and hard before, and then the bikers start laughing. I'm like, oh shit, I'm an evil fuck. All right,
they just
it was
threw up
hilarious.
Pieces of cut up hot dogs
I know
just in the air.
That's part of it. That's so good. Is like the effects on it are like, it's hard because it's like, on one hand, it's really bad, but it's like on the other hand, it's like it's such a quick shot.
Yeah.
And it's like it's shot so well. I honestly feel like it was shot for comedic effect. There are a few other practical effects in this movie. God, I can't remember the exact scene, but there's a part in this movie where like a dead dude's face is like it fills the entire screen. And it's like when I saw it, I was like, that was awesome, but I guarantee you if I pause it, when it's like right on the screen, that it would be hilarious because I feel like this movie does a good job of like it plays off a lot of the horrible shit in the movie.
Yeah.
With like, I don't want to say kitschiness. I don't want to say like, I don't consider this a B movie, but there are parts of it that give off B movie vibes. And I mean that in the sincerely the most, like the best possible way. I feel like these moments, like when his fingers are chopped off, really elevate this movie. I loved this movie. I loved this movie.
How could
loved
one
it.
not love this
I
movie?
loved it. I loved it.
It is absolutely the foundation for me. This is why I love cars.
Yeah.
Why I love vehicles and things like that. Because every one of the vehicles in this movie works for real. It runs under its own power. It is a real, honest to God vehicle that can function and doesn't have to be pulled, or there's
And
no
it feels
camera
like it,
tricks.
man.
They're real cars.
Like- and
that
like-
dune buggy that guy drives at the end, the one that wears the white helmet,
Yeah.
that's a real fucking car.
And it shows.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does. Because it's like, I thought that the end of this movie, the car, I don't like car chases typically, but like the end of this movie is so good. It's so good. And like that whole chase scene is fantastic. And it's because there's fucking like crazy stunts happening, like one right after the other. And it's like, it's 1981. You know,
Yeah.
like people are really doing this.
Yeah, there were really people doing it. And to lead up to that real quick, I'm not going to get into the whole breakdown of the movie. They decide to leave, but they're going to take a tanker of gas with them.
Yeah.
They don't have anything to pull the tanker. So Mel Gibson or Mad Max agrees to go get him a fucking tanker, a diesel truck. He goes out to get it. He brings it back, but in the process is badly hurt. He gets it back to him, and they're like, "Oh, welcome to the family. Thanks." He's like, "Nah, man, fuck this. I got you the truck. Give me a bunch of gasoline. I'm leaving." Then he leaves.
Give me approximately 6 bottles, please.
Yeah, and then
And a stick.
Then the war dog runs him down, causes him to wreck. He gets really fucking fucked up, real bad, and they kill his dog, which was sad because dog was a good boy.
Yeah, they do it off screen.
They do it off
which is
screen.
nice. You don't even hear it really.
Nah,
Which
it's implied.
it's a blessing.
It's all
'Cause,
that
that dog
matters.
is awesome.
He is awesome, but then the Falcon blows up.
Yeah.
And they think that he's dead, but he manages to get rescued by none other than
Gyro Captain.
Gyro Captain. Takes him back. So they hook up the thing, they hook up the truck to the tanker, and they leave. They roll out.
He gives Feral Kid that music box.
Yeah,
Plays Happy
Bill
Birthday
plays
for
Happy
him.
Birthday, and
He's
the
very-
feral kids are
Widest teeth you ever see on a Feral Kid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
super
they
good
got
teeth.
a good dental plan at that oil refinery.
Well,
I
the
don't know if
nuclear
you knew
war killed all the black people and all the Asian people. Only white people remain in the post-apocalyptic world.
Feral Kid needs braces.
that. Dental plan. What's the outback? Like, what's the racial diversity in the outback? This is an honest question.
A
I don't
lot
know.
of
No Aboriginal people.
A lot of
They got
Just
rid
the
of
white
them,
people.
right? I don't know. I don't know.
They're not in it.
They're not
Now,
in the movie.
newer movies, they do employ a lot more of the Aboriginal tribe, the first peoples of Australia are much more widely featured in the
Before
newer
England filled it with
movies.
convicts.
Yeah. In the newer movies, they really go out of their way to make sure the first people of Australia are included. So that's nice. But so they leave. They go to take this tanker, and they send the women and children off on a school bus and various other vehicles in the other direction, and they ride off. And that's when that's when the chase starts, which is the single most defining thing about most of George Miller's movies, from The Road Warrior on up. The chase scenes that go on for 45 minutes, but
So-
every single one of them, every minute of every single one of them, to me, is pure and utter joy. I love it.
What did he outside of the Mad Max movies? What has he done?
Couldn't tell you.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm just curious because
I could look it up, but I don't know. 'Cause
Okay.
that's what I know him
well,
for.
the reason that I bring it up, I haven't seen the third Mad Max movie. I've never seen.
It's called Beyond
Beyond
Thunderdome,
Thunderdome.
and it's regarded as the least good of all of the. There's now 5
Is all right.
total, and Thunderdome is fine.
Is there a car chase in it? I'm assuming that there probably is.
There is.
He's done some good stuff outside of it. So Mad Max Fury Road, Mad Max Furiosa, Mad Max 2, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, Happy Feet,
Happy Feet.
Babe, Pig in the City,
Whoa.
I didn't know that. That's
Happy
cool.
Feet 2, The Witches of Eastwick,
Oh damn, that's a good movie. I didn't know he did that either.
Babe, the original Babe, so the 2 Babe movies, Twilight Zone the movie,
Good fucking movie. Shit.
What a Girl Wants.
Okay.
What a Girl Needs, the sequel.
A lot of good shit. He's got a pretty diverse.
Excellent. Well,
Cool. I thought the car chase in Mad Max 2, I'm just going to go ahead and say that I thought Mad Max 2 was better than Fury Road. I liked Fury Road a lot.
it set the
A lot.
standard. It was the first thing of its kind, honestly.
The only reason I'm saying it is because I want you to know how much I enjoyed this movie. A lot. I really enjoyed Mad Max
to say
2.
that I could understand what that means, because The Road Warrior is far and away my favorite of the entire series. for the same reasons. But Fury Road is fucking
Road's
amazing.
awesome.
And
Fury Road is
Furiosa,
awesome.
I liked it. Again,
But
I loved the
man,
movie. It was different.
There are
but-
so many like awesome shots in Mad Max. There's so much, and like this is before digital colorization.
Uh-huh.
So it's like there's a scene where like Mel Gibson is inside the car and everything is fucking red. And
Yeah.
it's like, holy shit, this was done with practical lighting and filters. Like this is like I don't know, man. I weirdly felt nostalgic for this movie that I had never seen before.
It defined. It was a definitive movie for the long. I mean, it still is. It set a standard that no one saw coming. It was epic. It was unbelievable. It's still, to me, I watched it again today and I was just glued to the set, right?
Yeah.
I still love it.
Man,
it still holds up.
I rented it, and I'm glad that I did, because the other option was I could have watched it in 1080p.
Right.
But I was like, man, I think I'm just going to spend $4 because I hadn't seen the movie, but I know that, George Miller has a reputation. It felt like one of those where it's like, I should probably watch this like in high def. Like I should watch
as
this in
high definition,
the
as
best
you
quality I can get.
Yep.
And I do think that I do think that watching it that way was the right decision.
Yeah.
Like I was done and I was like, I rented that for $4 and I should have bought it for $15. I regretted not buying the movie because I would watch this several more times.
I will watch it several more times. I've probably seen it 30 times. I mean, I love it. I will never not watch it if it's on.
I didn't mention Humongous pulling out his scoped,
If it was a
Magnum?
357 Magnum with a
scope.
big old scope on top. But
Yeah.
the thing about George Miller's Road Warrior, Mad Max movies, there's that the way they innovate, right?
Mm-hmm.
They strap things onto things. Like in Fury Road, the gas pedal of the war rig is a shoe size machine,
Right.
Because it can lock down.
Yeah.
They could stick it under the hook and it'll lock
Yeah.
down and keep the throttle going. But I thought that you could tell that all this stuff was cobbled together with what they could find.
Right.
Everything, and that was what it would be if this were real.
Right.
It's like your weapons workbench in Fallout 4, where I have everything fucking scoped.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
revolvers,
the scope would do nothing.
chainsaw bats and shit. Yeah.
But they're going to use everything in some way, shape, or form, even if it doesn't have
And
a
I love
function.
that scene, man, where he's like, he's got his gun in
Yeah.
that fucking box. That it's like, I didn't know. I like this
It's
movie.
the cleanest thing in the movie.
Yeah, no,
The inside
it's
of that
like it's
box.
like a fucking magic weapon, essentially.
It is.
because it's like everything else is dusty, but this fucking box, like when he opens it, it's like red velvet
Yeah.
inside. I mean, it's like pristine. I like this movie enough where I was like, I want to watch videos about this movie.
Yeah.
So I started watching videos, and like one of the bits of trivia that I thought was really fucking awesome is that Humongous's crew, all of those characters, like they're all written. They all have backstories. They don't talk. They're not mentioned in the movie. But like the actor, it's like, okay, this is your character. This is their backstory, and I truly feel like that's like displayed in full force with Humongous, because it's like if you pause the movie where he opens that box, there's like a photograph of like a man and a woman. It's a black and white photograph that looks like it's a World War II. There's like a fucking Nazi war medal that's inside the box. And it's like, this is all part of like his backstory that we're not explicitly told through boring exposition.
Right.
It's just something where it's like,
You know he has it.
yeah, it's just this feels it lends like this living, breathing like feel to
Yeah.
the world, where it's like it's the same when you run like a D&D game where it's like I'll flesh out characters and it's like no one's ever gonna ask, but it's like it gives
Yeah.
direction on like this is how this character would act. And it's
Absolutely.
like it's cool, man. It makes it feel like a fucking real world. I love it.
This to me was the baseline of any and all post-apocalyptic movies. I always hold it up to how does this movie stand up to the Road Warrior? You know, I love the fact you mentioned everything was dirty. Everything is kind of. It makes me think of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the ships in Star Wars aren't usually like these pristine, clean Star Trek type ships. These are fucking, these ships have 100,000 miles on them. They have seen some shit.
Right.
And they, you know, and that's one of the things I've always loved about Star Wars is kind of that real, it's almost realistic in the sense that, you know, if I had an X-Wing, it would probably look like that guy's X-Wing because it's just, you know, we don't need it to look great. We need it to fight and fly and go. And, you know, that is what I get from this. And the fact that they use real vehicles, the fact that they're art pieces. This is an art movie. If ever I've seen one, every vehicle in that movie is a sculpture. Every just like every character has a backstory, every vehicle is a sculpture and has been handcrafted and dealt with on a personal level by somebody who treated it as if it were an art project. And it is one of the best movies I've ever seen, and it is always going to have just the special place in my heart. I
had one nitpick about it. That was just like, fuck, I wish at the end of the movie, like, man, you've done such a fucking awesome job. And at the end of the movie, they're like, and the gas was in the school bus. It's like, yeah, I know, I saw it. Give me some fucking credit.
So we find out if you do a little reading, the person narrating the Road Warrior is the old man that the feral child grew up to become
like the elder.
George Miller has confirmed that Max in Fury Road is that kid.
Really?
It's not Max.
Tom
Radnowski. Huh?
Tom Hardy's character is that kid?
Yes.
Interesting.
Because it's like 30 some odd years later or whatever. And, you know, shit's gotten way worse, you know, by that point. But yeah, George Miller confirmed that the feral child is Max. He took on the name Max and became Max that is in the Fury Road movie. And it's why he doesn't say much. It's why he only says 2 or 3 words at a time and maybe total, because the kid didn't even speak for most of his life.
Mel Gibson had 16 lines in Mad Max 2. That's fucking crazy. 2 of those are the same line. Yeah. I came for the gasoline, I think is what it is. And it's like, that blows my mind, because when I heard that bit of trivia after watching the movie, I was like, there's no way that's true.
So,
but it is.
It is.
It's just the movie.
He was not as big a goddamn deal then as he ended up becoming.
Well, not only that,
but that is one of the main reasons he became who he is because of that movie.
He's paid per word. They didn't have a budget.
Yeah. They paid him in dog food. You get 1 can of dog food every line.
All right, make it 2. We got a deal, because that dog food's good as fuck.
But I honestly feel like it got me thinking, like, how many lines of dialogue total are in this movie? And it goes back where it's like, this movie does a really good job of showing, like it tells the story through the fucking medium.
The visuals are absolutely stunning.
It's great. It really is. Like, the way that this movie tells the story is phenomenal.
Tyler, Dave and I have been over here gushing. What did you think about this movie?
It's the second time I've seen it. I like it. Yeah, I like it a lot.
Okay. I think this should be required.
We watched it at McWayne's Cabin one year.
Okay.
First time I saw it.
Well, I think this is required reading. I think that this is one of those movies. Like, I try not to get in people's grill when they say they haven't seen a movie. You know, what? What do you mean you haven't seen it? I don't try to do that, but I will. Anyone that tells me they haven't seen The Road Warrior, I will immediately say, I highly recommend you watch this movie because I think it should be in everyone's vocabulary.
Yeah, well, everybody knows I'm not a movie guy.
Yeah.
And I especially don't really love old movies very much. This is an exception on the level like Alien is an exception.
I'm super glad. That is high praise.
Mm-hmm.
That's high fucking praise.
I put these
because I
movies in
love
that same,
absolutely.
that
I
same-
love it.
Yeah, that same level.
I love Alien.
And I love Alien.
I fucking love Alien.
Yeah.
But that is an excellent way of putting that. This definitely has a seat right at the head table with Alien.
And they're 2 years apart.
And
so
they're
it
not far
fits
apart
with
at
the
all. I do recommend
Dirty sci-fi too.
if you really, really loved Road Warrior, honestly, I would say give Mad Max a try. Watch it. It's a little slow, and it's almost less dialogue than there is in the Road Warrior. But it's a good movie, and it's a really good establishing shot for the upcoming, the Road Warrior.
I want to watch the third movie. I plan on watching it anyway. I mean, I don't know if there's potential for a Patreon bonus episode.
I mean, I want to watch
that.
Furiosa too because I did love.
Yeah, I want to watch
Fury Road.
Furiosa as well.
We
yeah.
could do. I would be happy to. We could do a Patreon on the rest of Mad Max if you want, because I've seen them all.
Yeah.
I have not seen Beyond Thunderdome many times. It was the most commercialized one. It was, very much riding on the coattails of the success of the original. Tina Turner's in it.
Yeah.
Of all people,
I knew that.
She
That's
wrote the
trivia
theme. There's a
fact,
theme song for it. It's not great.
It sounds counter to
It's
what I just
not
watched.
great.
It's got a shield with a Pizza Hut emblem on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it is not. It is not gonna hold up. It doesn't hold a candle to the Road Warrior.
Yeah.
I do recommend it just to get it in there to say
Yeah.
that you've seen it.
Uh-huh.
But the redemption song to the Beyond Thunderdome was Fury Road.
Which is great. I love Fury Road.
Tanya and I watched that movie twice this week.
Yeah.
I mean, the sandstorm scene and all that.
Yeah.
That shit. He went fucking balls out in Fury Road, and it fucking worked. Soup
Using
to
that
nuts. That
Babe money.
Yeah, that pig in the city money. Soup to nuts. That movie was perfect. I fucking loved
That's
it.
a great movie.
And I like the Road Warrior more. But
Yeah.
and Furiosa again is good. It's really good, but it is different. There's a lot of dialogue in it, which is weird. But anyway, I could go on and on. I'm not going to, and I'm going to finish what I have to say personally about it. The Road Warrior, 5 stars. If I could give it 6, I would. Wiz and Sage says, please, please, please check it out. It is a classic that everyone should see at least once.
Yeah, man, it fucking rules. I loved it. I really did, and I think
I knew you'd like it. I'm really glad to hear that.
I straight up loved it, and it's like I think it's such a smart movie that's also like doesn't take itself too seriously. I was surprised because I didn't think it was going to be as good as the first movie. It is so much better than the first movie.
Oh my Lord.
And it's like,
and I love the first movie, but you're not wrong.
I don't love the first movie.
Yeah.
I think it's a good movie.
It's just it's not for everyone. You don't have to see it.
Right.
You get everything you need about the first movie in the first 10 seconds of the second movie, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
And I honestly don't even think you need Max's backstory.
No, not necessarily.
To really enjoy the Road Warrior. I mean, it's nice to know it, but there's so much in this movie that's like, damn, like he really fucking thought this shit out. And it's like, that's super, like I've got so much respect for that. It's in the fact that it looks as good as it looked shot when it was shot in the fucking butt crack of the 80s, and it's like
in the
good.
butt crack of Australia.
Yeah, and
The
it manages,
cinematography was fucking brilliant.
it manages to be entertaining too.
Yeah.
It's not one of those where it's like, it's not one of those movies where it's like, oh God, I respect the fuck out of the cinematography. It's also like, oh, this is a fun movie.
Yeah, it's fun.
Like, this is entertaining.
Speaking of the cinematography, I don't know if you realize this, but I guarantee you that every aerial shot that was shot in that film
Was from that
the fucking
gyrocopter.
whirly
Absolutely.
bird. I love that they used that. They had to have.
And I think it's great
Because
that,
the
like,
helicopter would have stirred up too much
Oh, yeah.
dust, and they wouldn't have gotten the close-up shots that they got
Yeah.
without having something small, like drone size.
Yep.
And I love that they use it because from the aerial shots, you never see the gyrocopter
Yep.
from the air,
Dude, and there's like there's a wonderful cut where it like goes from like, otherwise it would have been jarring. It goes from like, God, I can't remember exactly what the setup is, but it's like they're in the refinery, they're in the camp, and then like Max looks at the gyro captain who's in the chopper. And then the next shot is an aerial, and it's like, man, that is such like a good way of communicating to the audience without like just outright blatantly showing it, where it's like, oh, okay, we're getting the shot from the gyrocopter.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's smart, man, and I think it's really awesome. Like the theme in the movie, where it's like you're constantly. I was constantly being like, because they're contrasting the gyro captain and Mad Max against each other the entire time, and it's like Mad Max is he is not a hero.
No, he's an anti-hero.
He's an anti-hero.
He is in it for himself,
And, like,
he's Han Solo.
He is, but he doesn't get the Han Solo ending.
No.
He gets a different ending. Like, I feel like honestly, this is gonna sound so fucking trite and cliche, but the main character of this movie is the gyro captain, because he is the character in the movie that grows.
Agreed.
He goes from being a thug who hides and tries to steal to like a leader of this community.
Yeah, he becomes the leader.
Yeah.
Well, they echo that in Fury Road with Max, and then Furiosa is the one who grows and goes on.
Absolutely.
And moves and-
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you're right.
And it's funny because Max is generally, from that point on, kind of a secondary character. And I will say he's a little bit more main in Thunderdome.
Yeah.
But again, watch Thunderdome to say that you watched
man.
it.
Yeah.
And I need to rewatch
I wanna watch it.
Thunderdome.
I'm gonna watch it regardless of whether or not we recorded anything.
I might watch Thunderdome tomorrow just to get it back in my mind. But they so there's a video game called Outlander.
You ready to pivot? Pivot.
Because
you guys didn't like it?
originally
guys didn't like this
Outlander was supposed to be the video game based on the Road Warrior.
Yep.
And
And it
they
shows.
lost the license.
Very obvious.
So they couldn't call it Road Warrior. They couldn't use Mad Max's name. They
Dude.
couldn't do any of the stuff. But this game was definitely Road
It
Warrior.
super shows, because like the fucking game over screen where you're like, they show a shot of the
Crashed
car that you're in
upside
that's
down.
turned over.
Uh-huh.
It's like, that is a fucking
Scene
still
from the
the
movie.
movie.
Yeah, it is.
It's just they put aviator sunglasses on Mel Gibson.
It was blatant, which is no secret that they just lost the licensing
Yeah.
rights to do it, which is
But Outlander is such a shitty choice for a name. Like,
they had to try to. I guarantee you, this was a holy shit. We got to have a meeting. All right,
Yeah.
what are we going to call it? How are we going to fix this? We've already gone. We're 65%.
Gail Mibson's Wasteland.
I think so. I got to look up. I'm going to look something up, but it's like, when did Outrider come out? Because I feel like they were trying to cash in on that, and also let you know, hey, this is a car about where you're in a. Just a game about where you're in a car. Outrunner is what I was thinking of, not Outrider.
Oh,
I don't know, like, yeah, The Wastelander or something other than just Outlander. That's just, and there's so much shit is also named Outlander. I don't know. I feel like that helped bury the lead too.
Yeah.
Even worse.
Outlander is how they referred to the adults in Children of the Corn. Outlander.
Yeah. Where's our Children of the Corn video game?
Others.
It's all stealth. Just a stealth game trying to avoid the murderous children.
Okay, I would. You know what?
Yeah.
I'd fuck with that. I'd play that. Yeah, I'd give that a go.
All right. So, full transparency, I didn't play this game because I'm stupid and didn't take an hour out of my week to sit down and do it. I kept thinking I have more
Wouldn't
time.
take an hour.
I have more time. And then I didn't have the time that I was going to set aside ended up getting taken up by work. So I have watched some and played about 5 minutes of it before we started. So I'm going to have to defer to you guys for summaries and to talk a little bit about it, if you would.
Yeah, man.
And I have an email, by the way.
You want to start with it?
Sure, I can do that. Brad has sent us an email, like you do. He writes, "The hospital food talk was very interesting. I love hearing about stuff I don't know about, as do we all. Also, the story of getting the 500-pound kitchen equipment to Cincinnati was fantastic."
Thank you.
Too bad. I mean, if you had lived it, I don't think you'd think it was fantastic, Brad. But thank you for that. I actually recapped
real
that
Road
one.
Warrior shit.
Yeah,
Last
you
week.
did.
You did some real Road Warrior
You did some
shit.
Road Warrior shit today. You had a flat. You had to change it while you were driving.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
At one point, did you have a shotgun shell on like the hood of the truck, and like Melissa had to get out of the windshield and like
Well, I had my feral child in the back with his tablets.
there you go.
Okay, he continues. I actually recapped
Nice
that
mullet.
story for my wife, who also got a huge kick out of it. The Cincinnati story. I'm such a sucker for impossible, how are we going to move this giant thing stories. Brad continues. The March 1993 issue of GamePro has a Scary Larry review of Outlander.
Hell yeah.
Interesting final scores on this one. The game came out right in the middle of my peak SNES fandom, and I have no memory of it. Do you think it might have done better if it had the Mad Max license? I'm sure we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to read the article now from GamePro by Scary Larry. Outlander's the name, and All Out Highway Terror is the game. It's 108 years after the apocalypse. The world is a barren wasteland whose only hope is the water synthesizer, an invention that promises to revitalize the parched landscape. Unfortunately, Dr. Belmont, creator of the synthesizer, is being held captive deep in the Australian wasteland. As a mercenary hired by United Nations, like, was this a Snake Plissken game? Escape from Australia?
Yeah.
As a mercenary hired by United Nations, your job is to rescue the doctor so that he can save the world. Outlander is a one-player Mad Max trademark style car game that mixes a first-person perspective road warrior driving and side view walk, don't run, shoot 'em up action. It is a great concept for a game, and the shoot-to-thrill gameplay is fun despite a few control hang-ups. You start out behind the wheel of a car. The forward-scrolling out the windshield look paints a nice 3D perspective on the action, which takes you from one meager outpost of civilization to another. As you cruise the roads, Molotov-tossing biker dudes and other assorted outback scum try to take you out. To survive, you must avoid road barriers and knock off the bad guys, blowing them out of their motorcycle boots or running them down like traffic cones. Your car comes equipped with a hood-mounted machine gun, and you're equipped with a shotgun, which you use to blast bikers foolish enough to get in range. Although blowing away the bad guys, in your way. You aim the shotgun out of either side of the window via a slick on-screen window that enables you to watch the road ahead. Although blowing away the bad guys makes for big fun, controlling your vehicle is harder to learn than driving a stick, since you have to use every SNES controller button. When you reach a town, you climb out of your car on a side-scrolling search for vital supplies. You punch, kick, and shotgun your way through the town goons and pick up ammo, food, and fuel left in your victim's wake. The graphics in this game are good, but not spectacular, especially in the side-scrolling areas where the sprites are small. The in-car perspectives are nicely drawn, even if they aren't innovative. You'll enjoy the nice, catchy, down-under disco tunes and realistic sound effects like the grunts enemies make when they bang into your car. Oddly enough, Outlander's slow speed and clunky controls do not detract from its fun factor. There's enough challenge to keep even the most jaded
False.
driver going. And there's something to be said for the perverse thrill of wiping people out on the open road. Haven't you always wanted to be the Marquis de Sade?
Whoa.
Get the fuck out of here. Outlander is the answer to your freeway fantasies. Graphics.
New Steam name. The Marquis de Sade.
Scores, graphics.
The picture of Herbie.
And Lindsay Lohan.
And Lindsay Lohan, yeah. Graphics 4.0, sound 4.5, control 3.5, fun factor 5.
Fuck that.
This guy, the Game Pro gave this a fun factor of 5.
Yeah.
Challenge advanced.
Yeah.
$59.99, available March.
$10 more. And you get Star Wars.
About the same thing.
I like the game. I know we're gonna be split, but I like the game. I thought it was way more interesting.
I
than
love the
thought it was gonna
concept.
be.
I love the ideas behind it and what they tried to do.
Yeah.
I think the rear view mirror thing is cool. I think
Dude.
the fuel gauge being up there in front of you is pretty fucking cool. Your RPMs. There's a lot of information on the screen.
Yeah.
And I think that's neat. And when they were talking about when you shoot your shotgun while you're driving, the little square at the bottom shows up, and you can.
Yeah, L and R that you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You press R to shoot your shotgun out the right window.
Yeah.
And L to shoot it out to the left. And it is cool, man. It's like I've never played a game like that before. I thought it was really fucking neat, where it's like you can see in your rear view a bike coming up behind you, and it's like, okay, they're coming up behind me. Oh, okay, they're going right. Get ready to blast this motherfucker with a shotgun. And then sure enough, once he gets in range, this little window pops up, and it's like, fuck, this is like...
And you could go reverse. I've never seen a game like that where you could go in reverse.
You can go in reverse and run over a guy back behind you. I think that's really neat, especially for 1992. This is an early Super Nintendo game. It shows that it's an early Super Nintendo game, but like...
Good use of Mode 7.
It is good use of Mode 7. I feel like the driving portion of this game, it feels like their goal was, okay, Road Rash, but what if Mad Max? And I feel like they nailed that. Especially with the tech that was available in 1992, I feel like they nailed that. I even think it's cool that you run out of gas and you have to pull over and you have to scavenge for gas and supplies and health. I think that's really neat. I do think that the side-scrolling levels are not the care that was put into the driving. I feel like it's not put into the side-scrolling.
It's Terminator 2-esque. It's not as
It is.
bad, but it's esque.
But
What
it is
little bit I did
Terminator-esque.
play of it, yeah, I had trouble with the side scrolling.
It's also crazily unintuitive. I started playing this game. 10 minutes in, I was like, okay, I understand the driving. I understand the shooting. I'm losing, and I don't know why. I have a feeling it has something to do with gas, because my gas gauge is getting low.
Yeah.
So I had to find the instruction manual and look it up and be like, oh, okay, when it beeps, I'm supposed to pull over, stop the car on the side of the road, and then my character will get out of the car,
okay.
and it'll transition into the side.
Hold on,
scrolling.
you guys. I gotta get some poison food and shotgun shells and gasoline.
Right.
Hold on. This convenient side-scrolling town right here.
Well, I think it's neat too, because it's like if you don't make it to a town, you're on the side of the road and you're scavenging for shit on the side of the road, and instead of fighting townies, you're fighting dudes on bikes, and it's like they straight up will murder you. The game is hard. This is a difficult, challenging game, and I feel like that could be depends on what you want in a video game.
Because I got waxed until I watched Angry Video Game Nerd cover it.
Yeah.
Or no, it was SNES Drunk.
Okay.
And he was like, you got a Mortal Kombat Johnny Cage style, you got to punch nuts. You got to dunk, you duck, and you punch nuts. Don't use your gun.
Yeah.
Just punch nuts. It's all you fucking do, and it's much easier.
Yeah, for sure, man. I wish that side scrolling section had like, even if they had like, if it were more like Double Dragon, which I know is like a big ask, but if it was like more like Double Dragon, all of a sudden it's like, okay, I could see like all of a sudden it's like, this would elevate the experience.
I could see, and I don't care much for brawlers, but I could definitely see that being more appropriate for the scenes where you're not in the cars, to be a brawler style beat 'em up kind of deal.
Because you got to fight these guys. They make you fight them anyway.
Yeah.
You can avoid them. I was avoiding them for a while. Like the first time I tried it, I avoided all the enemies. And I was like, okay, awesome. And I get back in the car and it's like, oh, I didn't get anything. Because you have to fight them and like pick the food up off the dead
Smash
guys.
boxes.
Right.
Hope you don't
Which
get
hurts you.
irradiated food.
You punch the boxes, which hurts you. And then like, I hope there's food in here to replenish my health.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like the scavenging is lacking.
Cooling concept.
It is cool in concept. It was almost one of those things where it's like a shooting gallery style, while scavenging might have been more appropriate than like side scrolling. Even though your ammo,
Give me that sweet Rocketeer action.
well, I was thinking Wild Guns. But honestly, this is fucked up. But like even what Rocketeer was doing in the shooting gallery, I think might have been better
I
than
agree
the
with you.
side-scrolling fighting
I agree
in
with
this
you.
game, which is a really
Blast your power ups and shit, and hit the bad guys being ducked behind.
Yeah.
a tanker.
And they throw you food, or as you kill them or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would be way better.
Which is a shame, man, because I feel like like you were saying, Tyler, the concept of the game where you have to stop and like scavenge, I think that's really cool. I don't think that's the thing a lot of Super Nintendo games are doing. I feel like that was the DOS realm at the time.
Yeah.
It felt ambitious for a Super Nintendo game to do this.
It was because Road Rash by itself, more gruesome Road Rash. So like the racing, it's not racing. The driving part just felt slow and clunky. But I get it because there's a lot going on.
Yeah. The frame rate's low.
So, but it's not like Road Rash which was exhilarating and fast.
Right.
But I understand they probably had to make cuts to fit in the scavenging part,
Yeah.
which makes sense for the theme. That
Yeah.
it's a whole lot with trying to do a whole lot with very little.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and say it's better than Road Rash or even like comes close to Road Rash. Road Rash is like, there's not as much to Road Rash, but Road Rash is like, here's what we are. We're
Right.
a racing brawling game. And it's like, that's our lane. We're not going to try to do too much. We're just going to try to make that really fun.
Here's a cheeseburger meal. That's what it is. Enjoy your cheeseburger
Yeah.
meal. As
Yeah.
opposed to like, we got a monster sandwich. It's a chicken and it's a hamburger and you got fries that are also pickles, but it's just doing too much.
Yep. No, I agree. I agree.
But they're trying to capture the essence of the game. I
the
mean, I
movie.
get it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the movie.
Yeah, totally. It's super ambitious. I think that their heart was in the right place. I liked this game. It's not one that I would recommend to a lot of people. This game, I know this isn't a segment that we really do anymore, but this is like, as I was playing this game, I was thinking this would have been a perfect game to rent on a weekend and like have a friend sleep over.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I feel like we could have got a lot of mileage, out
Watch
of
the movie
out
and
of
then
the
play
game.
it and-
oh my
yeah.
God. That would have been like,
That sounds awesome. Actually,
it would have been a lot
would
of
have been
fun.
a lot of fun. Yeah.
But without very key information, you wouldn't even known that this game was tied to the movie.
Yeah, that is-
unfortunately.
that
It's
is-
not
You
their
would say,
fault.
Right,
you would
right.
say, man, this is a lot like the Road Warrior.
yeah. It's also on one of those weird things where it's like 11 years after the fact.
Right.
Yeah, we're in that fucking Dirty Harry territory, aren't we?
We are, but I also think though that it's so early on in the life cycle, they didn't have a lot of licenses to work with, and I think this would have been a great selling point
Oh yeah.
for the game.
Oh yeah. If it had been,
a Mad
yeah,
Max, this is to
totally.
answer Brad's
It
question.
would have gotten attention. I think.
I think it would have
Yeah.
gotten a lot of attention, and I think
yeah.
they were doing that. What they did with the intention of saying, we love the Road Warrior. Yeah, I know you've seen the Road Warrior. We're gonna make that video game.
Yeah.
You didn't know you wanted.
Yeah.
And I think it would have done a whole lot better
And I
with
think it
that
would
label
be,
on it.
I also think it would be a game that we had all heard of, as opposed to a game that I hadn't heard of.
Right. Absolutely.
And then we had to look up, holy shit.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like this, with its flaws, warts and all, I feel like this game would have been one where people would have looked back and been like, yeah, not all movie games were horrible.
Yeah.
Mad Max 2 was okay.
Right.
You know?
And it's a shame because by all accounts, I've read several things about this game too, and I've heard good things from you and from other reviewers.
We played a lot worse.
And
Oh, yeah.
I think you're right. I think their heart was in the right place. I think they were shooting for something that paid homage to one of the best movies ever made. And I think they were really trying to send that love letter. And it's a shame they couldn't do that, but good for them. I mean, way to be super ambitious so early in the life cycle, right?
It is really ambitious because it's like if you press start, there's a map.
I saw that,
and
yeah.
it's like there's a password save system. The game is fucking huge. Apparently, I didn't get that far into it because it's difficult.
'Cause I watched it. I didn't. Yeah, it was difficult. I watched a playthrough, but it all is very samey.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it has different levels, but they all look identical. It's the same enemies. It's the same broken up into the grasslands, the wasteland, and it's all the same.
Yeah,
And the ending where you fight something that looks like humongous, and rescue the doctor, and the weirdest fucking ending. You rescue the doctor, and the doctor's like, take the raven to the ball. Oh no, he's gone mad. Well, let's go. Game over.
Perfect.
I guess let's go anyway, even though you're insane.
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Fair to middling.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now that I've played a much larger scope, I can. Not my favorite, but I know there's. Oh my god, there's so much worse out there.
I think it's an interesting game.
Yep.
I think it's interesting.
Conceptually very interesting.
Yeah, I do wish the execution had been nailed, but it's not. But still, it's a game that, again, it's one of those where it's like, looking at it in 2024, I'm never going to play this game again.
Yeah.
But in 92, yeah.
I can appreciate I appreciate Vortex, like the history and the achievement
Yeah.
that was Vortex.
Yeah.
And what we all know it to be based on, which is the Road Warrior.
Yeah. You guys have any achievements?
I've got a couple that I just sort of lazily made. They're probably not good, but we'll see. My first achievement is Witless Me.
Nice.
And to get Witless Me, attempt to host a show about Outlander, having not played it longer than about 3 minutes. I got that achievement. My second achievement is Road Warrior. Be constantly stressed about running out of gas. And my last achievement is Boomstick, more like Boomstuck. And that is run out of ammo, which is easy to do.
It is easy. The shotgun shells, particularly, very easy to do.
That's all for me.
I've got. I said, "Do you speak of my language?" In order to unlock, I said, "Do you speak of my language?" Play this game. Play the Spanish version of this game.
Nice.
Next achievement is, he just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich. In order to unlock, he just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich. Punch a guy in the dick twice, and he will drop food that you eat.
Nice. Perfect.
That's it.
I've got two. I've got Nyradex, die from eating irradiated food. And then the road cockknocker, punch 30 guys in the dick.
All right.
Different than the cuck knocker.
The cock, yes, very
Where
different.
someone you watch someone punch a guy.
That's where you punch one guy in the dick and then punch the woman in the dick twice, and then go back and punch the guy in the dick. What do you guys think? What do you guys? You want to guess how much it was, or you want to know what Flopsy said? What dealer's choice? I'm the dealer. That doesn't make sense.
I feel like, I mean, one is always going to influence the other.
Yeah, love and marriage.
Let's do price
Can't
first.
have one without the other. Price? What do you think this guy? What do you think this game costs if you were to buy it? Outlander.
$32.
$32 from Ian. What do you think?
See, I'm going to bet because of the whole license dropping that it's probably hard to come by.
Yeah.
Never heard of it, never seen it. $45.
Yeah.
$45.
You're thinking similar to the way I was.
Actual retail value of Outlander for Super Nintendo, loose on average, according to PriceCharting.com, at the time of this recording, is $11.90.
Right.
Wow. Okay. We were a little off.
A little bit.
A little high.
If this had been the Road Warrior, do you think that would have affected the price?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too. So, with that knowledge and the Scary Larry review, what do you guys think Flopsy has to say about Outlander?
I am going to say that Flopsy gave it 3 stars, and it is very uncommon.
3 stars, very uncommon. What do you think, Tyler?
2.5 stars, uncommon.
2.5 uncommon. I saw it earlier, so I can't play, but I will reveal the answer from Flopsy, a.k.a. the Ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library 1991 through 1998 by Pat Contry, courtesy of Monster Mold Mike and a mysterious shadowy benefactor. Out to Lunch is a game
Hell
that we
yeah.
talked about a long time ago. Right
Yep.
next to it is Outlander. Someone got this on the nose. It's a 3-star game, uncommon.
Nice. I said very uncommon, but
Then someone did not get
I
it.
barely missed the nose.
got a nostril.
2 failures.
I got close.
3 failures because I misremembered your answer. Oh boy, what a podcast!
Yeah.
Yeah, the reflections on this is the Road Warrior film meets Road Rash on Sega Genesis, but it's on the Super Nintendo, so that's a little confusing opening sentence. But it's a Super Nintendo book, so you know. I guess.
Right.
Much like the game, the review is a little confusing. Just keep telling yourself that comma, should be there, because that is exactly what this game is. If only it weren't so impossibly hard, it would get a much higher rating, but it doesn't let up from the start. Girl, that's true. That was from J.E. from Flopsy. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were going to give this game a beer, what kind of beer would it be?
A mutated wastelander dribbling mother's milk, precious mother's milk down his face.
Hell yeah, that's fitting. That's gross, but also like a little hot. Yeah.
Huge tanker full of mother's milk.
Hell yeah.
Throw in a little bit of that guzzling and we'll be in business.
Tyler, if you were to give this game a pair of glasses, that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of glasses would you give it?
A sharp boomerang to the head, dribbling blood into your eyes.
Nice.
Bloody boomerang glasses.
Dude, I heard boomerang the first time. And that was awesome. I can't believe my brain was never like, yo, homie, boomerang.
It's totally an achievement.
Well, I said
somehow.
mother's milk, so you were in the boob
I was
set
in
of
the,
mine.
I was in
frame
the,
of mind.
yeah, I had titties on the mind. That never happens. All right. We're doing, that's it, right? Mm-hmm. We do any other things?
What about beards and glasses? Did we just do that?
Yeah.
Oh, the boomerang distracted me.
Yeah, no, I get it, man.
I was also asleep. Yeah, we're doing Pit Fighter next, right?
Yep.
Pit Fighter.
Pit Fighter. I'm glad you said that.
Pit Fighter.
Pit Fighter, because we're going to do our last Dark Tower episodes. We're watching a movie for that.
Yes.
So
That'll be
as to
for...
not to try to double up, we'll do Pit Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to go ahead and roll for the movie we're going to do after that?
Sure.
To go
Why
ahead
not?
and have it?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
7.
Isn't that what you rolled last time? I feel like we had a 7 last time you rolled. So whatever's after Outlander is what we're doing.
Basically, because Batman Forever is what I rolled. So let me scroll down. We're saving Home Alone 2 for Christmas.
Or when, if Trump gets elected, I think we should do Home Alone 2.
Fair.
Because he's in the movie. I mean, it only makes sense. So it's either Election Day results episode or Christmas episode.
So after Outlander, Ian, I think you said you liked this. The Page Master.
The Page Master.
Page Master, starring Macaulay Culkin.
Gage was a huge Page Master kid. He loved it. He watched it on video. I watched it on video several hundred times. It was a cute movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, so I'll have to... Strangely, as many times as I've seen it, I forgot.
So I've never seen it. I know we're going to get into it when we talk about the episode, but based on you having seen it a long time ago, do you feel like it is a movie that would translate well into a video game?
I think it could.
Okay.
I think it's got potential.
All right.
It's very fantasy oriented. Very.
Okay.
I think it could work.
All
We'll
right.
see. We'll see.
I'm ready to master the page.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Macaulay Page. Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes, not SoundCloud, not Stitcher, but Spotify, YouTube, all over the goddamn place. We got so much shit going on, but always most importantly is that Patreon.
We do have a Patreon.
Hell yeah. Patreon.com/TADPOG. Get in there. Give us a fucking $1. Jesus Christ, you guys.
That's
what
really...
the fuck?
Just get a boy.
You've really let us down. This is the section of the show I like to call Dave berates the audience who doesn't pay. Look, if you don't pay, what the fuck, man?
He's not wrong.
Tyler doesn't have matching lug nuts on his fucking tire.
No, they're
like,
rusted
come
out
on, man.
My 99 Camry.
What the fuck, guys? Come on.
My car that's older than my oldest child.
Patreon.com/TADPOG. My car's older than my kid. What the fuck? I got matching lug nuts, but for how long? Patreon.com/TADPOG.
Please
give
help.
us $1.
Help Tyler get new lug nuts.
Did you laugh
put $1,
once or
please?
ejaculate while listening to this episode? You owe us $1 legally.
Sure, I'm pretty sure Bush set that up. So yeah.
Yeah, when he was camming.
Trickle down podcasting
That was his comfy.
came from... All right. Yeah.
Man,
What he
trickle down,
said.
talk about it.
Give it...
Can I
give it-
finish?
Can I? No. No. You may not. Do not finish.
What's up, Michael?
Well, if you do give us money, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Gave us
It
money.
sounded very insincere. I didn't.
Yeah,
I
thanks.
I was in berating the audience mode. Thank you. Sincerely.
Thanks. Yeah, whatever. Thanks.
Thanks.
Quotes.
I guess.
Quote. I'm doing quote fingers. Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot.
For that.
It's a speech impediment.
No, please.
Seriously, though, we are very grateful
so
for all of our
thankful.
donations. And we are grateful for that. So thank you very much. And we do have a list of listeners who donate $20 or more per month. I'm really tired. I'm like literally I'm having trouble keeping my eyes open.
We're gonna get through it, man. I gotta pee real bad. You and me, we're like Thelma and Louise. Let's just fucking
These are
drive this
executive
podcast car.
producers. that donate $20 or more per month. I'm going to read the list right now. Hell yeah. Cubicle Monkey, Gamebug Prime, Nathan Eaton.
Hell yeah.
Pinball Airplane, Archmage, Chris Edler. Sorry you couldn't be on this episode. Derek Pope, Sandwich, Enthusiast, Jeff Miners. Congratulations on your marriage. Drink Smith.
Hell yeah.
Joey Webster.
He's also Smith.
Sandwich Pope, Phil Hawkins, Louisville correspondent, Princess Swell, Banana Hammond, Flavor Trick, Taryn Dahl, and Canadian Turbo Nerd, Tom.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Thank you all so much. Hell
y'all
yeah
for
for your
real.
money. And thanks to Dane for putting our episodes up on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks to Brad for the nice email with the review of Outlander.
Yes.
Next week, Spitfighter. The week after that is the Page Master. And I think that's it. I think that's all I got. Oh, I forgot one thing. Money, please.
Money,
I forgot to say that
please.
tonight.
Patreon.com/TADPOG.
Give it up.
It's
Give
not
us money.
just a joke.
Give us your money.
please, Yeah.
We're serious.
Yeah.
No, really. Fucking give us money.
Yeah.
You heard what
yeah.
you heard, Dave. Don't make me get involved.
Don't make them beat me.
Don't make me
Shut
tell,
up, Tyler.
Don't make me tell your father.
I will call your mom.
Our theme song is Food Festival Drive into that track from the show TADPOG.com. Hey, you guys want to close it out? Like your favorite war dog.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So until next time.
TADPOG is hosted and produced by Tyler Holland, Dave Moore, and Ian Chandler. New episodes published Wednesdays each week and are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else podcasts are hosted. Have a question or comment for the hosts? Call us at 270-883-2555 and leave us a voicemail. If we like it, we'll play it on the show and respond. Want to send us something? You can do that at TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. If you absolutely must send us a food item, please use caution and good judgment when doing so. Tasty snacks that look or smell funky or are past their expiration date by the time we get to them will be thrown away. Bonus content is available at patreon.com/tadpog with a minimum donation of $1 per month. You can join in on the conversation by visiting our Discord at bit.ly/tadpog Discord. Registration is free and we'd love to see you there. Thanks for listening, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our show so you don't miss an episode. Now, where did I put that stinger? Oh, here it is. Okay, go.
I know it really fucking grinds my gears. I just want to bitch for a second. So on Facebook, I mean, as much as already wrong with Facebook, but as a chef who appreciates food, I subscribe to a lot of food stuff on Facebook. The amount of recipes and shit that I see on Facebook, and the picture being a clearly bullshit AI generated picture of the food in question pisses me off so fucking much.
So would you have
so
them
fucking much
make the food and take
make
their
it
own
and take a picture.
Yeah.
Don't just like give me a random ass recipe and an AI generated image. If you can't even make the fucking food, why do I want to make the fucking food?
It's like those fucking TikToks that you see that are like, here's how to make AI generated videos.
Yeah, fuck that. Like, no, especially with food. Like, how do I even know this recipe will fucking yield anything? I know you can take a picture of anything, but it's even lower bullshit effort to AI generate an image that is clearly bullshit.
Yeah.
And I hate it when I see, like, I saw a recipe for some kind of like peanut butter Rice Krispie treats. Clearly the AI did not understand and made the Rice Krispie treats out of goddamn baked beans. And that is the picture of some baked bean Rice Krispie treats. And everyone in the comments are like, so yummy. It made me fully believe in the dead internet theory.
Oh my goodness.
Like, internet's just goddamn bots. That's it.
Yeah, it used to be there are no girls on the internet. Now it's there are no people on the internet.
It's just bots talking about delicious baked bean Rice Krispies.
I'm a people. I'm on the internet.
Sure you are,
But not
Dave.
Facebook. That's what I'm
Sure
bitching
you
about.
are.
Oh, Facebook?
Yeah.
Is Facebook like crawling with bots?
Oh, just AI generated art for recipes.
Man, are you getting any text messages from Clearly AI bots? Or is it probably just me?
I haven't gotten the one that I know of.
Yeah. Well, Dennis.
Now I'm texting an AI bot, but it's not answering me back.
Dennis shared a text with me that he got today from a lady, and it was like, oh fuck. So like we spent a good part of the day texting back and forth, just like fucked up funny shit to send to this lady and see how she responds. And it's like, dude, there is no way a human being would be like, okay, we're going to continue having this conversation. There's no fucking way.
Paul would send me that shit all the time too when he get weird spam texts and stuff.
Oh, yeah? Paul Korn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love those guys that have time to get into fights with, telemarketers or people that are texting or whatever. But I mean, obviously, if it's a bot, you'll never win. But those are always funny to me. When
Yeah.
people, just have the time to go the extra mile and drag them down. But then again, I think, man, they're just trying to make a living. Like, I'm being all sympathetic.
No, I get it, man. If it's a human, I don't want to fuck with them. But it's like, this was absolutely a bot. You know what I mean? Like, this was a bot that was texting for sure.
So I wonder if you'd sent fucked up responses, if it would have screwed with its algorithm so that the stuff that it sends to other people is even funnier. Like, is it learned from the responses?
I hope so.
That would be good shit too. Maybe you had an impact on someone else's life by responding in a funny manner.
Was it negative or positive, though?
Yeah, I said impact. I didn't specify.
I know.
I don't know. It could go either way.